This is Tony, and the image that we're going to be working with today came from the closeout of the Ice Bridge project in 2016. The location of these artifacts are on the very northern end of the Antarctic Peninsula. The peninsula is about 800 miles long and about 40 miles wide. And the artifacts that we're going to be looking at, this one didn't turn out real good, but there is some detail in it. So we're going to start with this one. And this is going to be the second artifact. And this is going to be the third one. And this is what I call the city complex. And as you notice, just the peaks are protruding through the ice and this water. So the biggest portion of these mountains that are shown are mostly through the top portion. So let's go to this mountain here. I'm going to be making some adjustments while we're doing this so we can get the imagery to show a little bit more detail. Let me move it up, make one more adjustment here. Okay, that should do it. Okay. Most people think these are mountains. And I had suspicion for a long time that what looks like mountains in Antarctica are actually artificial structures or artificial mountains that have a support system under them that was inlaid with stone millions of years ago. And actually, I never could prove that, but I think I have a little bit more information that pushes that theory a little bit further forward. Now, as you notice, this is hollow in here. There's a lot of hollow spots. If you look right here, you can see where this is kind of folded in and dips in towards this hollow spot, and that's probably because the frame that is supporting all this weight is probably deteriorated to a point where it cannot withstand that much pressure or weight from the exterior stone. Now, if you look through here, there's a megalithic wall here, and there's one here. And when this stuff shifted forward, this center wall in here, it buckled. You can see where it buckled. Okay. Here's the artifact. You can't see real well, but it's right here. It's a structure, and it has like a square top on it. And apparently this was built inside of these artificial mountains. And then, of course, as the mountain is deteriorating and collapsing, it's showing the interior and what's inside the interior of these intelligently and artificially made mountains. So we're going to go back to the original picture. We're going to go to this artifact. I'm going to make some adjustments. And this one turned out pretty clear. Okay, we're going to stop right here for a second. You can tell there's a structure right here. Just the way it's made, it's got like holes or opening, and then it has a support structure. I think that is a support structure that's coming out through here. And as you noted, it looks graded. So I think what happened was when this was overlaid with stone, as it began to deteriorate, it started caving in and showing the main frame of these artificial mountains. And if you look inside, it's hollow inside, and there's some type of artifact, or maybe it's part of this building, I'm not sure. But if this is an artifact, it has to be something that flies, an airplane or a spacecraft, and it's docked inside at the top of this mountain. So remember, we're looking at the very top of these mountains. These mountains, some of these mountains are thousands of feet tall. I'm going to go ahead and bring the image out some more. There's a really good detail. And you can also see that there's bits of structure that's bent when this structure started deteriorating through here. And if you look, it looks like square pieces of stone, and it's slowly deteriorating, caving in, and then it's showing the main support structure. And if you look real close, there's some type of artifact here, and it goes out and then in, and there's a ring right here. Of course, we have no idea what it is, but definitely a 360-degree ring is not made by nature. Now we're going to go over to what I call the city complex, which is in this area where this mountain is sticking up. So what I'm doing is, as you notice, I'm taking you through these different phases to get up to the main image. And a lot of it's showing you how I do process stuff. But the main reason is that it gives your eyes time to adjust. So when you get to the main image, you're able to see it in a lot more detail than just glancing at the picture. It really does help a lot. Okay, so we're going to process this one. In this city complex, it's about, from the distance, I can only guess it's probably 5 miles wide and 1,000 foot tall. Okay, I'm gonna make some. And right here is when you first can see it, and it's protruding out of the mountain. Here, there's the mountain in the back. And there's some type of artifact here on the support legs in this area. I'm going to clean it up and bring it in closer. Okay, we're going to stop here for a minute. Now you can see the detail in it, especially in this gray, black, and white. You can see this artifact here again. And when we get a close-up, you're going to notice there's a plate here standing on some type of stilts. It looks like it's bent and coming forward. So I'm going to process this some more. And there's the close-up. And then now you can see it. It's got one level here, 2 levels. It's got a 3rd level here. And then on the last color part, some of these details you can't see here, you'll be able to see them in the other colors. And then there's that artifact here, and then there's an overhang, and here's that plate I was telling you about that's bent over, that's on these, it looks like metal supports. And then these spires sticking up. I guess if you look on the bottom here, see how it's zigzag? Apparently this wall had fallen this way. And when it did, the supports that help support the structure and the stone that was laid on top of it all fell over. And this is the remaining parts of the structure that held that. And like I said, this is at least 5 miles long, and it's got to be at least 1,000 foot tall. And I'm going to process it one more time. Okay, then you can see it again in detail. You notice there's a round object here, and then this goes towards that object and comes back over and comes here. Now, right here, this kind of blends in together, but if you look, and look how it's bent, it looks like when this wall fell this way, and these supports or whatever this plate is, metal or whatever, fell over on it going the same direction. And of course, here's some type of deteriorated, there's a disc right here, something deteriorated, but there's no way of telling with the way these pictures have been obfuscated. Then on this final one, I did a super close up. I knew I wouldn't get very much detail, but it gives you a chance to see how this structure was built. And here's that piece on top that wasn't visible. Now it's visible. And then there's something on top of it and something that sticks up right here. I think probably these are some of the best images that I've done in a while. And these images are very revealing on what's going on in Antarctica and actually what are in those mountains that covers all those regions. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. This is Tony with Earth Files Earth History, signing out.